this morning I woke up and I look in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I
Mic check. Morning, everyone. Morning, morning. Welcome to the Jamaica Stock Exchange for another listing ceremony. And this is going to be the listing of PB Productive Business Solution Limited preference shares. We have been having quite a bit of listing since the year has started, Andre, and we are quite excited to not list just one preference share, but we are going to be listing 2 preference shares this morning. All right, my name is Neville Ellis. I'm your master of ceremony this morning. And as we always do in our JC tradition, I'm going to ask Mr. Kemar Gaya, our technical support officer, IT, to just give us a quick word of prayer.
Let us pause a prayer. Heavenly Father, we pause to give you thanks this morning. We thank you for life abundantly. We thank you for this day, for this is the day you have made, and we have enough reason to give thanks and be grateful. We ask for your presence in this listing ceremony. We pray you continue blessing upon the Jamaica Stock Exchange, upon PBS, as the business will continue to expand and grow. Be with us in this listing ceremony. We give you thanks for all that you have done. Every blessings, we thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for your goodness and your mercy. We ask that you will just be with us today as we give you thanks. In Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Kemar. All right, and to officially welcome you to the Stock Exchange. Let me see, by the raise of a hand, how many persons are coming here for the first time to the Stock Exchange? 1? All right, we'll definitely welcome you. To welcome you in the true JC tradition, I'm going to ask Mr. Andre Gooden, our Group Business Development Manager, to do so. Put your hands together for him, please. I think you can do better than that.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Neville Ellis, Mr. Paul Scott, Chairman, PBS Group, Mr. Joe Mizrahi, Director, PBS Group, other members of the Productive Business Solutions team, Ms. Andrea Kelly, General Manager, JCSD Trustee Services, Mr. Andre Tullo, Chief Regulatory Officer, RMOD, Mr. Kemar Gaya, Technical Support Officer, IT, JSE. Other members of the Jamaica Stock Exchange team, Mr. Carl Townsend, General Manager, Business Development, JMMB. Mr. Doyle Smith, Manager, Capital Unit, JMMB. Other members of the JMMB team, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the halls of the Jamaica Stock Exchange once again. It always is an encouraging and really thrilling experience to have new listings coming to the market. In a year when there have been challenges, we started the year earnestly recovering from the COVID pandemic and became then a little setback by the inflation and recessionary thoughts. But nonetheless, through all of this, the capital markets have remained resilient. The innovation and creativity of the leadership of the companies on the exchange has been strong, decisive, and strategic. It has always been said that you don't waste a good crisis. And I commend the leadership and the strategic decision of the PBS team to come to the market at this time. The prospectus for PBS was published in August 5, 2022, with an open date of August 12. The offer was for 1 million perpetual cumulative redeemable fixed rate preference shares at 9.25% and 150,000 perpetual cumulative redeemable 10.5% fixed rate Jamaican dollars at price of US $10 per share and 1,000 Jamaican respectively. It opened at 9 a.m. on August 12th and closed on September 9th at 3:30 due to oversubscription. It's very important to note that even in a situation where our economic indicators remain somewhat uncertain, that investors are still confident enough to continue to support new and existing listings to the point of repeated oversubscriptions. And it, again, commendations to the management teams and the strategic decision makers. And it's a good vote of confidence for your leadership team that the investors still have great faith and are still relying on us to bring good returns. So the company received US 18.7 million from 597 applications. However, the value of 9.25% preference for 15 million, making it the largest IPO to date in 2022. That's from the US side. That's 15 million, making it the largest IPO in 2022. The company also received 582.3 million from 531 applications for the 10.5% preference share, which the offer was for 500 million. So the applicants in the reserve pools were allocated 100% of what they applied for, while the applicants in the general pool were allotted on a pro rata basis. The success of this offer can also be strongly attributed in part to the lead broker, JMMB Securities Limited, the first company that JMMB has brought to list shares on the main market on US equities in 2022. And we are hoping, Carl, Doyle, etc., that this won't be the last. We hope to see you here next month and in November and December as well. So this PBS is the first company to list on the Jamaica Stock Exchange main market and the US equities market in 2022 by way of an IPO. We have had 5 junior market listings, and this is the first main market listing this year. So we are very proud, very happy to have facilitated this, and we look forward to much more activity on our markets. For those issuers out there who are still wondering if this is a good time to come to market, just look at what happened to PBS. Look at the success of this offer. It is due by no means to one entity, to one party. It's just all the stakeholders' involvement that have got us here. And I commend the entire team for getting this done. I welcome you again to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The few of you who are here for the first time, hope to see you again soon. And we look forward to doing more and more collaborations with you. And have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the weekend as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Andre. The first main market listing for the year. That is something that is wonderful. We need to really applaud that. Let us put our hands together for that. And the amount that has been raised in such a difficult time. I must commend PBX and commend JMB for a tremendous job that has been done. All right, to tell us about the journey, we're going to invite the chairman of PBS, Mr. Paul Scott, to tell us about this journey in getting these preference shares being listed this morning. Put your hands together for him, please.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here at the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And for PBS, we very much appreciate the partnership that we have with the capital markets here in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean that has led to our development and growth over the last 10 years. PBS is an interesting company, very, very fascinating because it's really and truly one of a kind. And it's not just interesting because it has great initials in the name. It's actually really interesting because it actually has great people who work every single day in the organization. PBS operates in 19 different countries and has 2,200 IT professionals that every single day do incredibly interesting things, incredibly interesting projects that are in some cases developmental, they're transformational, they really make huge differences in the economies in which they're implemented. Big projects for governments, social securities, for customs, for security projects in ports, education. And it's really done with a lot of pride and excitement through all the individuals that work there. Everyone is very excited to work on these projects. And you can see the differences, you know, whether we're selling 1 million laptops, licenses for Google in El Salvador, or we're connecting 900,000 devices for a multinational supermarket chain in 6 countries, and then managing it through a NOC and watching all the operations. It's very, very, very exciting what they do. And PBS is a work in progress. The results, as you see them this year, will be better than last year. And the following year will no doubt show the growth because we're really in a space that's quite unique. We're in the technology space, a space where real investment has been made in developed countries over the last sort of 20 years. And in the world that we're operating in, the geography, the Caribbean, Central America, and some Latin American countries, governments and private sector have lagged in that investment. But in order for us all to develop the level of productivity that we need to grow and develop and create wealth, we have to invest in technology. If we want to transform education, we have to invest in technology. Investing in technology is no longer a budget choice. It's not a case of looking what you can afford. It's actually a case of you have to do it. Because if you don't invest in technology, you're not going to be in the race. You're not going to be able to develop people. You're not going to be able to develop product, and you're not going to be able to be and remain competitive in a global environment. So PBS is very lucky in a sense that we operate in 19 countries, and we have really a growing technology market that provides the wind and the sails of our growth. And we don't see that changing anytime soon. We are very, very focused on the development of our people, investing in our people, growing our people, because the most important aspect of our business is our people. And we will continue to do so. We very much take it very seriously when investors invest in PBS. We don't take that for granted, and we thank everyone who subscribed in this offer. As we say, we make things happen, and we do take it very seriously. Shareholder value, we're all aligned with, including myself and all our top management. We're all shareholders in the business, and we want to see the business to continue to grow and to develop, because we are work in progress. We're not the finished product. And PBS has a future that is far beyond even what we can imagine today. What it is today, we sort of hinted and believed that we could get to 5 years ago. And we know now today that in 5 years' time it's going to be substantially different from what it is today. But we know it's going to be much bigger. The extent of how much bigger is always very difficult to work through and put a finger on it. But what I can say, though, is that we're very humbled and honored that investors have decided to have the confidence in our business and in our people, and we really thank you. I'd also like to thank the management at PBS who worked tirelessly on this. Perpetual preference shares are not normal. And I'm sure that you will probably see a lot more of them because, JMB, who worked very, very hard to develop this and to launch this product, did a great job, and I'm sure others will follow, having got to the point where you actually executed and got it done. I mean, JMB have done a number of transactions for us in our group, and I have only had great feedback from our team that have worked with them. They have a level of intensity that matches ours. They have a respect for timelines, and that also matches ours. And Carl Doyle, I really would like to thank you for the commitment that you've shown to us in getting this transaction done, which was so important for us. So thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The Jamaica Stock Exchange is something, as a Jamaican, we can all be extremely proud of. It is, the capital markets in Jamaica are very well developed relative to other markets that we operate in. And we operate in 19 countries and provide services in all these countries. So we see what a lot of options our clients have. And the Jamaica Stock Exchange is really an exceptional institution. And we are extremely lucky that as a Jamaican company that started in Jamaica, that we were able, through various means, either going public in the first instance and having a bond issuance and to working with the capital markets to grow and develop our business to what it is today. So thank you very much. I keep up all the great work you guys do. It really is amazing to consider when you look back 25, 30 years ago. And I used to be obsessed with annual reports. And I could read all the annual reports that were on the Jamaica Stock Exchange in probably the evenings of a week. I would say it might take like a whole quarter now, every night, to read through them. And there was a book that you used to publish, I don't know if you publish it anymore, that used to have all the results of everyone's, the yearbook. And that used to be something that I took to boarding school with me, and I would be looking through and writing notes, and I eagerly awaited the next one, you know, it's really exciting to see every month where you say you have 5 new companies this year, and it's so exciting to see the development of that, and congratulations, it's really a tremendous feat. So thank you very much, everybody. We really appreciate the support, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.
We must say we're really in very exciting times. To think about it, a Jamaican company in 19 countries all over the world. That is not a mean feat. Let's put our hands together for them, really. And it's a great story. We have our carbon business exchange. You need to tell that story on our exchange so that more people can be able to hear about your story, because we are broadcasting in 38 countries. So you might be able to go into the other difference that are there. The difference between 19 and 30. My mathematics is not so wonderful, but. Is another 19? Wow. You'll be doubling your what you're doing now. That will be very exciting. Yes, so we are really happy because a lot of people said, not now going to Jamaica. Something is going on because we have companies doing well. We just had our 100th listing on the market, so we're in very exciting times. And to really know that PBS is doing such a great job, it's very good. All right, and to officially list your company, we're going to go to the board now to insert the strips. So can all the directors and so on come and let us officially list on the... Let's come right around. We can get a bit of work. Then. Photographers will make sure that you are.
All the way from Sri Lanka.
Can you do it again, please, for the camera?
Take 2.
Take 2.
You see my face? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Go ahead. Up a little more.
There's a gentleman in the back, Mr. Scott.
Yeah.
I think I need to see it. So, gentlemen, can you come around?
JC, I have a suggestion. Put spots on the ground for the next. No, seriously. It's efficiency. Put little spots, everybody.
All right, our first BBS is on the board. No, you have the second one.
All right, Jamaican one.
Just before you do that.
gentleman at the back here, please step forward. Just make it a little bit more intimate.
Right, so
This is my favorite.
it's a favorite. All right, Jack. 8.2 now. Are we finished? All right, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. PBS preference shares are now officially listed. I'm just going to call on Mr. Andre Tolo, our Chief Regulatory Officer, RMOD, to hand over the rule books to the PBS team. Mr. Scott will be receiving on behalf of PBS. Mr. Tolo, put your hands together for him, please.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Neville, for that introduction. I'll do a few words before handing over the rules of the exchange. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I believe it is safe to say, given the proceedings so far, that all protocols have been duly observed. I must take this opportunity to congratulate Productive Business Solutions Limited on yet another successful listing of its securities on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. With the listing of both your fixed rate J dollar and US dollar perpetual cumulative redeemable preference shares, that's a mouthful, right? At interest rates of 10.5% and 9.25% respectively, PBS has now successfully listed 4 securities on the JSE since its first listing of its ordinary shares and preference shares in 2017. This issuance, with the disclaimer that I'm not making a recommendation here, was quite an amazing offer given the commitment to investors to pay dividends at the fixed rates just mentioned before. The offer was oversubscribed and there was a further upsizing to satisfy the demand from the market. The demand for the offerings demonstrates the level of confidence and trust that the market has in PBS's management team, its corporate governance structure, and its long-term prospects as an organization and listed company on the JSE. From a regulatory perspective, the records show that PBS since its listing has performed exemplary, which I believe has also assisted in the ease in which the company is able to raise capital on the JSE. Against this background, I encourage PBS to continue on the path that it is on. Continue to do what you are doing, as it is obviously the right way. In closing, I must state that we're pleased to have you on board as a listed company, and I believe the presentation of these rules, for what I believe to be the second time around, serves to reaffirm the initial desire expressed by PBS when listing in 2007, to see the JSE continue to grow and to reflect that growth in a name change to Caribbean and Central American Stock Exchange. You remember that, Director Scott? I Googled it. So while we're not there in terms of a name change as yet, we have been taking baby steps through the launch of our Caribbean Business Exchange, which captures the outlook that we have for ourselves both regionally and internationally. We believe, however, that the outlook for regional and international expansion can only be achieved by continuing our work with our stakeholders to promote a market that operates on the core principles of fairness, efficiency, and transparency, We are glad to have you on board to assist us with this work. And as said before, the presentation of these rules only serve to reaffirm your commitment to this cause. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I now present the rules of the JSE main market. Clear up nipple. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Andre. We see ourselves going places as a stock exchange and, to work together with our stakeholders to do that. All right, we are coming to the end of this function, but we're not going to be closing without having Mr. Doyle Smith, Corporate Manager, Capital Markets Unit, JMB, to give us a few remarks on how JMB was able to assist in the process. Put your hands together for him, please.
Morning all. All protocols have been observed, I trust. We are grateful and humbled to be able to close this listing this morning, talking about what has been, in our view, one of Jamaica's best kept secrets, and we're hoping that that's no longer the case. Now, the irony in PBS is that it's one of the best kept secrets, but it's known to every IT manager, like across the region. And now we're hoping that across the general market, the PBS name is becoming far more better known. This is a locally grown Jamaican powerhouse. What the team was too modest to mention earlier is that they are generating revenues of 220 million US annually. In addition to operating in 19 countries, they represent every major tech firm, whether it's Apple, Dell, HP, IBM. If you use an ABM today, if you go online for any kind of banking, if you have to go through airport security or you shop at a supermarket, very likely you're interfacing with a PBS product, maintained, sold, serviced. PBS came to JMB Capital Markets team with the idea of acquiring Massive Technologies in Trinidad to double the size of the company. They wanted a bond issuance in a very compressed timeline, plus the hardest possible thing that we had heard to date, which is raise a perpetual preference share. As far as we know, this has never been done before by anything other than a utility company. Never actually been tried before. This would involve educating the market, delivering in the worst month possible, August of the year, and also, not to make it too difficult, in a rising interest rate market. There's an old saying that a pioneer can expect arrows in their backs. Well, PBS actually broke that. Not only was the issuance materially oversubscribed, but it was upsized and then oversubscribed again. We are honored that you chose JMB Capital Markets to take this transaction to the successful public listing that we are here today. Similar to PBS, we do have a mandate of delivering innovative, cutting-edge solutions. In PBS's case, technology. In our case, we attempt to do that by raising capital. We deeply value the opportunity to work with the Muslim team, whether it's parent company or it's other companies, Seprod, Epley, Facey, Telecom, now Interlink, PBS Trinidad, or PBS Barbados. So just so you know, PBS, PB, Jose, Nick, if you're just thinking of a transaction, expect a call soon, right? We will be there to help support bringing that transaction into reality. The team would like to sincerely thank all our partners, including the investors that overwhelmingly supported the offer. The FSC, the stock exchange, the diverse team of attorneys required to make a cross-border transaction like this successful in both Barbados, listing simultaneously in Barbados and Jamaica. Success can only be delivered with the best of partners. Our sincere thanks go to each and every person that worked to bring this transaction to where we are at today. We, JMB, continue to look to do our part in keeping the JSE as the world's best performing stock exchange. Thank you all for your time this morning, and on behalf of the Capital Markets team, we look forward to our meeting again in continuing to support the beautiful momentum of a growing and expanding stock exchange and overall capital markets. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of your morning.
Thank you very much, Doyle. So with the listing of PBS preference shares, there have been many milestones that have been achieved, and we're looking for bigger and better things coming on. We thank you for all the sentiments that you have expressed on behalf of the exchange. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to you coming back, not once, not twice, but many times in the future to expand your company. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming this morning. Thank you very much to be a part of this proceedings. We have refreshment to the back. Enjoy the rest of your day and into the weekend. Have a good day.